Okay, we are good. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm excited to be here with all of you today. A big thank you to our friends over at ErgoFlex. Just before we get started, I wanted to obviously recognize ErgoFlex. A lot of you folks are either on my email list or you are a part of the ErgoFlex family and you love their products just as much as I do. I don't want to reveal too much about how the story behind me and ErgoFlex because, I'm going to turn the slide on a little bit more because it plays into today's training. But Linda, if I put you on the spot for just a minute, is that going to be okay?
Sure.
Okay. So JT's not here, so I don't know. I mean, maybe Linda doesn't like to do that. I don't know. But I have known JT and Linda. I've actually met them in person as well. They're lovely people, run a great company. And so anytime I get to rub shoulders with or offer any kind of value that I can to their audience, them as a company, whatever it is, I am in. Hands down, I am in. And so I wanted to just say thank you real quick. And Linda, if there's anything you want to say before we get started, we'll go ahead and go from there.
Well, I just appreciate everybody being on today with us. And I know I've been a part of your webinars before and have known you for some years now, and just really appreciate your support and how you really put us out there. Appreciate it, Sam.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, it's easy to do. You know, a lot of people, making money is not a bad thing. Would never vilify that, but a lot of people make that the thing. And you can really tell when people care and when they make good products and they provide an awesome service. And you guys do that. So let me go ahead and we're going to jump right into the training here today. Share my screen. All right. All right. A couple of quick items of housekeeping as we get started. If you have questions, if there's anything you want to know, feel free to grab the chat. At the very bottom of this of the window here, there's a chat feature. Go ahead and throw it in there. It doesn't mean I'll jump right on and answer it right away, but it gives me a place to start at the end for questions. I don't want you forgetting anything, and I definitely want to make sure that you get the answers that you need. Can everybody, and I see a couple of faces, so maybe you guys could help me. By raise of hands, can everybody see my screen? All right, cool. All right, then let's go ahead and get started. Once again, big thanks to ErgoFlex, the folks over there. Absolutely love you. Who am I? Some of you know me, some of you do not. Just wanted to do a quick introduction. I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time. I've never actually had a job. Now, I did work as a teller at Wells Fargo Bank when I was in college. But besides that, I've always worked for myself. And so I understand the plight of you as private practice owners and everything that comes with that. I have more than 6 years now. I need to update this. It's 7 years marketing specifically for patients. I have a lot of experience there. I'm probably, who knows, but I may be the most plagiarized advertiser in the new patient marketing space. Whether or not that's the case, I've seen a lot of my ads floating out there that I did not give permission to float out there. So there's a lot of them. I used to have a top-rated podcast called the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. I've been doing Facebook ads for so long. There is a right and a wrong way to do them. And hopefully today you're going to get a lot of insight and clarity into that. I also wrote a book. It's called New Patient School, the how-to guide for converting more leads into patients. Shocker, I've been involved in this part of your business for so long that I just had stuff that I hear all the time. And it's absolutely incorrect. And so I said, you know what? I hate telling people this over and over and over again. I'm going to put it in a book. So there it is in a book. It's not long and crazy, but it is a good resource if you're trying to, scale your practice with Facebook leads. And I have the only agency with a published case study on Facebook. Okay. Meaning this was, I don't know if it was 18 or 19, but several years back, Facebook, their business profile team actually reached out to my agency and they said, hey, we like the way you guys market and we need to profile somebody who does it right for local businesses, specifically in the chiropractic and chronic pain space. would you let us do that? And we said, no, we don't want anybody to know how good we are. So we just, absolutely. We were like, all on board. So that is a little bit about me and what we are here to do today. So I want to make you guys a promise. I want to start off so you know the direction that we're heading, you know what we're doing. I don't want to just share for you a veiled sales pitch. I don't want to just sell you anything, okay? I want to show you and demonstrate to you proof, actual ads and offers that work, because all of you are here with a common goal. You want to grow your practice. You have a really awesome service to offer, and that's my job, is to help you, okay? So I'm going to show you how to bring in knee patients consistently and at a good cost, okay? I'm going to help you attract qualified leads and stay away from as many tire kickers as possible. And I'm going to show you how you can do all this and almost put it on autopilot. I'll show you what that means in just a second, okay? I want to make an immediate impact in your practice, okay? I want to show you how you can simplify your workload. A lot of people run around trying to do so many different things. You know that marketing is a big part of your business. And so when you're at a conference or when you're talking to other people, there's so many things that they say that work that you should be doing. Let's simplify everything so you can make more time and make more money and waste less time. And then, I want to help you get patients, have higher conversion rates, and charge accordingly. Okay. All that said, okay, this only works if you do. Everything that I'm showing you is 100% verifiable. All right. It's not a get rich quick scheme, even though sometimes when a guy like me is saying, I see behind the curtain and I see what's working, here's what you need to do. Sometimes it seems very simple, but it only works if you do. All right. Who's ready to go? You can either give me we got a whole bunch of quick hands already ready to go. All right, let's jump into it. I find it really helpful. And I don't want to spend too much time here, but I find it really helpful to understand what the environment that your business operates in, what is the reality of that environment? Okay. The reality here, it's a harsh reality, but it's true. There's a ton of agency who have no idea what they're doing. Okay. They're happy to make money. And when they close, you remember I talked to you at the beginning, we were talking about some people are in business just to make money, right? It's that black and white. Let's just do this. We'll make money. It'll be whatever, right? These are the type of people that I'm talking about, not to disparage any individual, but this is what's going on. This is what's happening and you need to know about it, right? Meeting with my first chiropractor tomorrow. What is a good offer to provide to potential patients of a chiropractor? I don't want them learning on my dollar, right? If you're going to get in there and provide a service, know what you're doing. It's launched for my chiropractor. What conversion rate? I mean, you should know what conversion rate. Come on. What should I expect? Help. I'm about to launch my first funnel. It's for a chiropractor, but I'm struggling with ad copy, blah, blah, blah. These are things that if you're paying for them, they better know what they're doing. Does anyone have a good funnel for generating chiropractic leads? Now, I know there's a lot of chiropractic stuff. We've got all the situations that you're seeing here are absolutely verifiable. And this one on the right, probably my favorite one. Okay. Because she is the proposed queen of funnels. And for those of you who may be out of the nomenclature in terms of what online marketing is all about, funnels is a fantastic way to generate leads. And so she's the queen of funnels. But she reached out to a friend of mine and says, hey, I love what you're doing. I heard you were the go-to for creating funnels for chiros. I have a new client and was wondering if you can send me an example of high converting funnels to use. I'm happy to pay thank you in advance. It's a harmless enough request, but if you're going to call yourself the queen of funnels, act like it, be it, right? And then there's the other side. Okay. So that's the reality of a lot of things that have gone on and what have been going. But there are people who know what they're doing, who do get results. I find that they fall into a singular category many times. All right. It's the people that always have a secret. They always have some silver bullet, something, some way of pitching something where it's like, oh man, this is it. And I don't want to say you fall for it, because honestly, we're all trying to learn for ourselves and maybe they have things that work, but the problem is you buy into it, hook, line, and sucker. And then next thing you know, you're back to doing the same thing again, right? And here's where we get, this is the cycle, right? This is the same thing happens every time. Another failed attempt, more wasted money, more loss. It's probably the most annoying thing is probably lost time and effort, right? It's a roller coaster. It's an absolute roller coaster. And you think, listen, all my friends or people that we talk to, they all say they're doing something that works, and they're all lying or we just can't get a break. Can't we just get something that works? That's where we're at. All right, I get it. So you might be thinking, okay, Sam, so if you're so smart, where's the easy money? What's the real secret, if there is a secret, to making my practice a raging success? Now, normally this is where the guy in my position says, the reality is nothing is easy. It's all hard work and it's all whatever. And, that's true, but that's not true. Here's what I mean. A long time ago, I caught a lucky break. And sometimes, what do they say luck is? It's hard work or preparation meets opportunity, or what is it? Preparation meets opportunity. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Those things happen to us as long as we're actively engaged in the thing we do and we're trying to get better all the time. And it's not that I'm smart, but a long time ago, I did catch a break. Okay. And I'm holding something there that really unlocked everything that I'm going to show you here today. All right. So this is where we're going to start today. And this is where I want you guys to say, what I learned, I want you to know it. Okay. Again, when I found what I'm going to show you here, it changed everything for me. So part one is a hidden secret that I found: how to get leads every single week. Now, what I'm holding there, and I have here too, as well, by the way, this is always within arm's reach of me. I make sure nobody can, take it away from me. What I have here is the Gary Bencivenga 100 seminar. All right. And if you don't know who Gary Bencivenga is, I don't expect you to. This is my space. This is what I do. But Gary Bencivenga is one of the greatest advertisers who ever did it. Okay. He learned from the creators of modern advertising. Now, people talk about advertising like it's been around forever. The reality is direct response advertising, what you see today, has only been around 100 years. Okay. And this guy, Gary Bencivenga, was there at the creation, and he created some of the most amazing concepts. And when he retired back in 2015, he invited the who's who of all the advertisers in the space to a seminar. And he said, this is my farewell seminar, and I'm going to give all of my secrets. And in that seminar, he gave the most amazing display of simplicity, understanding, and persuasion that I have ever seen. And all of it is contained in that thing I'm holding right there. By the way, they're DVDs, hilarious. I mean, you can't even, the technology, obviously, but you can't get these, right? I wouldn't sell this to you, first of all, but you can't get these. These are not like they're printing them. You can't buy them, whatever. Maybe you'll find them on eBay, but they're absolutely priceless. Okay. That's the setting where we're starting here. All right. And in this presentation, Gary talked about his persuasion equation. The 4 things you need to persuade people to do whatever you want, really, right? Ethically, of course. Okay. And here are the 4 steps: problem, promise, proof, and proposition. All right. Those are the 4 P's. And obviously he went into each one of them, and he spent time going to each one of them. But he said something really, really interesting. He said and this is the part that got me. He goes, now, out of the 4 parts, they don't all pull weight equally. There's 2 that do the most work by far. Okay. And that is the promise and the proof. Okay. He said the reality is if you have a good promise and a load of proof, that is 90% of the job. Now, what's funny is he set on the recording, he set me up to say, well, what was the thing? I thought it was maybe the problem and the proposition, honestly. Diving into the problem, how much they need help, and then proposition, hey, this is why you want to buy this thing. It was the opposite. It was a unique promise and verifiable proof. Okay. And then he doubled down. And this is what really changed the way that I've done marketing ever since and will do for the rest of my life. Okay. Gary doubled down on one of the two. Okay. He told a story about elevators back around the turn of the century. And I forget the guy's first name, but his last name is Otis. How many of you have seen the words Otis on an elevator when you get into an elevator? Okay. Around the turn of the centuries, elevators did exist, but they were extremely dangerous. Nobody wanted to get in an elevator. All right. Why? Because the cable would snap and people would fall to their imminent death. And so this guy, Otis, comes around and he has this invention and says, well, what if I applied a brake to any situation where an elevator would fall and I could put a brake on it, right? That makes sense. He couldn't get anybody to buy his invention. Nobody wanted it. And so I think it was maybe like 1908, I don't know the year, a long time ago, he went to the World Fair and he set up this exhibit. And at this exhibit, he hoisted himself up and he had his assistant cut the rope. You can see that at the very top, there's a person up on the platform and they're cutting the rope. And he cut the rope and everybody watched him fall and then the brakes turn on. And that single demonstration changed the outcome of human history forever. And he said, and he doubled down on this, he said, demonstration is the most powerful form of proof. Okay. If you learn nothing else from me today, one of the things that I want to make sure that you write down, that you save for later, is demonstration is the most powerful form of proof. And if you can provide sufficient proof, you can win, you succeed. All right. And so this is where I was left after listening to this, after learning this. I thought to myself, I said, how could I test this in my own business? I mean, my job is to help doctors get more patients. How could I test this? Right. So the first one seemed fairly simple. I know how to do this. I've been an advertiser or a marketer for a long time. Promise. Okay. Well, to make a good promise, I need a niche. I need a specific somebody to talk to. And then I need a new solution, meaning I can't do, I would not be a good advertiser for aspirin because, I mean, okay, I guess headache is the quote niche, but the new solution, it's not new. It's a commodity. Everybody knows about it. I need a new solution. I need something new. And then the second thing is I need proof. I need some type of easy demonstration, something like that. Okay. And this is where things get really fun. So one day I was on a call a long time ago. If you guys have been in the business a long time, you know that when regenerative medicine, stem cell marketing first came around, it was a laydown. It was easy. You could say non-surgical solutions to knee pain, stem cell therapy, and people would flood in the doors, right? But as soon as a tactic known as a tactic blown, as soon as everybody got in, now it didn't work anymore. And it has since worked less and less and less. And so one day I'm sitting on a call with a client and we're talking about his lack of performance on his knee pain marketing for stem cell therapy. And I'm looking behind him. I'm looking through, just like I'm looking with you guys today. And like, if I was looking behind Linda in her background and I see this weird looking thing, I'm like, what is that right there? And he goes, oh, that's a knee on track. I go, does that like pull your knee? And he goes, yes. He didn't tell me what it did. I knew exactly what it did because just sitting there, it demonstrates its value. It demonstrates what it's doing. And so I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take our same stem cell marketing campaign, but we're going to offer them a session of that. We're going to get them on there. And here's what happened. I started getting loads of leads the very next day. The lead quality was really good. Okay. And the crazy thing was the cost was very low. Okay. Because as you do an offer and everybody else starts doing the same offer, the cost increases. Okay. But in this case, the cost was really low and my business changed forever. Right. And what's crazy about this particular campaign, I have in my arsenal of campaigns, I have over 100 campaigns. Out of all of them, this campaign right here is either number one or number two, and it has been for several years. Okay. And today, all of my marketing, everything that I do follows this framework. And I actually have a formula for it. It's something I call the qualified lead formula. Now, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves in one respect. Okay. This is not the end of the story, and it can't be the end of the story because we haven't addressed maybe one of the most important parts of this equation. I could get a lot of leads. Okay. Getting leads was good. But I still got this situation where, maybe sometimes I felt the quote quality was suspect, which, by the way, I don't think that quality is a real thing. And we can talk about that later. But something was off. Like some people just were not qualified. We still had the looky loos. Okay. And I just felt like I didn't know that I could necessarily put my finger on it exactly, but I felt like there was more we could do. All right. So that leads me to part two of my discovery, and what you guys need to know was my qualified lead formula. So this all revolves around how to get qualified leads, and not only just get qualified leads, but how to convert them. What is the psychology? What are the steps? I've come up with 2 rules. Okay. And those are going to become very apparent in just a second. But before I tell you the 2 rules, I want to tell you a quick story. Okay. This is Captain John Raid. And Linda, I think I told you this story a little bit ago. I love this story. I feel like it frames the way we need to look at our job as from a marketing perspective, the way we need to look at our function through the correct perspective. So Captain John Raid, he's known as the maestro of rod and reel. So back in the 40s, 50s, around that time frame, Captain John Raid lived in over on the East Coast, Northeast Coast. I want to say it was around off of Nantucket or the Hamptons, somewhere out in there. Some really awesome fishing waters. He lived in a place where some of the best captains in all the Northeast lived, including the captain who was known for being the motivation behind the movie Jaws. That guy lived there too. And if you polled all of the captains in that area, if you said, who's the best captain of all of them? Without a doubt, 100%, they would all say Captain John Raid. And they would say Captain John Raid because he was a standout captain for a very specific reason. Where a lot of commercial fishermen would go out and maybe net fish or use several lines, like a lot of lines, dragging, all that kind of stuff. John went out in a dinky little boat and he fished with rod and reel. And he would catch his weight in fish every single day, just with rod and reel. And nobody could figure out why. But when he retired, he got interviewed and a reporter said, John, you're retired now. What is your secret? What do you do? What do you know that none of these other captains know? And he sat and he thought for just a second. And then he said this: when fishermen go out to fish, they think like fishermen. When I go out to fish, I think like a fish. I want you to think about this real quick. When doctors go out to get patients, they think like doctors. When I go out to get patients, I think like patients. That is the shift. Okay. And that is ultimately what I'm talking about. Let me deep dive into this a little bit more. So rule number 1, those who pay attention. Free is not good in your marketing. There are times and there are exceptions to every rule, but by and large, free is not a good rule. Okay. But there is a right and a wrong way to treat pricing. Okay. Those who pay attention, infers that I'm going to charge something, but there's a right and a wrong way to do it. Here's how we do not look at our pricing. One, we do not look at our pricing as a way to, just only get serious people. That's why we're doing it. We do not increase our pricing so we can make more money up front. Okay. We do not increase our price so people will just see the value of our service. Price is an objective. It's a very black and white thing. It can't be used for the things that you want it to be. Right. But the right way to do this is to use this the same way that when you get an insurance quote, they can give you a number. How can they give you a number? It's because they have the law of large numbers. They know pricing thresholds. They know how to price accordingly to get the result. So the right way to treat pricing is to find price thresholds that identify intent. Okay. To test, refine, and control those price points. Okay. An example of that, if I'm doing something niche, I can charge a little bit more. I can charge a little bit more because there's not ready, like the solutions that I'm offering for knee pain, neuropathy, disc pain, those types of things. You can't just get them anywhere. Right. But Chiro offers, for example, I'm going to have to price those a little bit lower because people know what the price is. All right. So this is just general economics. Again, let's talk about price. How do we think about our price and how can you use it in your favor? This is an XY axis. You've got value going up on the left and time on the right. How does this thing start? Where do we go? Number one, we want a price that's going to give us enough interest and the right action. That's number one, right? Number two, if we do that one part right, it's up to us to continue the journey, right? If you go on a first date, it doesn't end when you make the phone call. You actually got to go on the date. You got to impress the girl, the guy, whatever, right? Trust and commit. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. And then transformation, you got to change them, right? You see how this works? You don't use your price. If it were that easy, if you could charge the $3 bills at the front, then there would be no nuance to success. Everybody would have success if they plugged in the button and that's all they do, right? You have to go through this process. And as you can see on the bottom, that time, as time goes on and as value increases, so value is trust too, by the way, it's learning, it's comfort, it's believability, then you make more money. We're going to get more into that in just a second. Okay. If you want to grow your practice with the best leads possible, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to price test and see who is biting. All right. Think like a fish, right? If you want to be the guy that can go out or gal that can go out and catch these awesome marlin all the time, you got to know what the bait is. And you can't use crappy bait. You can't use like a really expensive bait because I don't know anything about bait other than it doesn't work, right? So you have to price test and see who is biting. All right. Number two, one gets them interested. Two seals the deal. I know a lot of times when I have, like I said, I have a library of over 100 new patient campaigns that are ready to go. And every now and again, especially maybe when I'll get a newer clinic that hasn't done any advertising before, I'll get somebody that says, well, I don't want to offer a discounted first visit. It makes me look cheap. I feel like I'm giving away too much. You're looking at it wrong. Okay. You're looking at it all wrong. It's not about where you start. It's about where you end. Okay. Where do you actually make your money? If you're trying to make your money in visit number one, you've got a model that I don't understand. It's not something I could figure out. You're smarter than me. You don't make your money on the first visit. You make your money over time. You make it on the back end. Right? In advertising, we say chumps try and make money on the front, experts make money on the back. All right. So don't forget, think like a fish. When I say one is interest, two seals the deal, here's what I'm talking about. if you get them in, if your offer includes a first visit, okay, when they come in for the first time, their experience, everything is about them. Okay. Your goal is to make them interested, comfortable, and open to seeing what you have to offer. Because first of all, they don't know you, right? They don't owe you anything. But if you do it right, you can give yourself a really seamless way to meet a lot of new patients every single week. Okay. So visit number one is for them. It starts the belief. It starts the trust. Visit number two is for you. Over the course of 2 treatments, you can demonstrate value, right? The reason I wanted you to write down demonstration is the most valuable form of proof is I have had clients who are like, we didn't do any treatment on the first visit, or we don't do anything on the first visit. And I understand, I'm not a doctor. I've been in this business a long time. I used to coach clinics. I'm not going to tell you how to run yours, but I can tell you that if you can demonstrate value in any way, your chance of converting the patient is going to skyrocket. All right. So visit number two, if you can, over the course of 2 treatments, visits, whatever you're going to do, you can demonstrate the value and proof of your result, you're going to win. This is kind of like, to me, like if you go and you're like, hey, you want to go on a date? And the girl's like, how about 2? It can play into your favor, right? It really can. And I think if you take some time to think about it, you'll come to that same conclusion. Here's what I've learned after 7 years. After millions of dollars spent in ads, after thousands of ads I've created, some worked, some didn't. And after hundreds of thousands of leads that have been generated, it all comes down to trust. It all comes down to talking to the right people. It all comes down to having the right promise. It all comes down to demonstrating proof and having enough time to do it all, right? If you do it right, you're not going to reinvent your practice overnight, right? That's not the right way to do it. You need to do it little by little, okay? Lead by lead. A lot of people ask me, if I get if I start doing marketing with you, what can I expect as far as results? They're always asking, what can I expect in like a short time frame? Like, what can I expect in the first 30 days? If I get 100 leads in 1 month, what's the stat? What's the percentage of people that will actually convert? It's 25%. So there's 75 people there who apparently are worth nothing. When I'm talking about the right way to make offers, to grow your business, to everything, I'm talking about looking at it like a fish. If the fish doesn't bite today, but it's the kind of fish that we want, it'll bite tomorrow, the next day, whatever the case may be, right? If we track the leads that we get over time, our conversion rate goes a lot higher, especially if we follow up with them the right way. Okay. Now, I want to shift here a little bit. I think you guys are probably getting the point. I don't want to drive this point home too hard, but I want you to understand when we shift into what's working, I don't want you to discount it because it's beauty. The simplicity is the beauty, right? So Sam, this all sounds great, but you said we were going to see what's working now to get more knee patients. Okay, cool. Let's calm down. We're getting there. All right. Here's what we know. We have a formula. Promise, proof, we know, and then rule 1 and rule 2. All right. So here is what is working in 2022 to get more knee patients. Can I get a drum roll? Right. You know, excited. Who's excited? Raise your hands. Put in the chat. You're excited. You want to see what's working? Okay. Linda, you always got my back. I appreciate that. All right. Here is what the number 1 knee offer is, and it should come as no surprise. It's actually, obviously, it's the ErgoFlex offer. There's a screenshot of it. We've got some verifiable proof of what we're talking about here. So this is a couple months of ad spend. This is $56,549.24 worth of ad spend. Okay, so it's verifiable proof. It's 2,391 leads, and an average lead cost of $23.65. Okay, that means I think Average cost per patient is like about $100. All right. These are the top performing ads. This should come as no surprise. That I didn't make that ad, by the way. I just stole it from some people that I know. And sorry, hey, you know, my job is to get your clients more patients. You get what you get. All right. Obviously, this video does accomplishes the same thing that accomplished for me when I saw it sitting statically in the background. Was it demonstrates decompression. What's really cool about demonstration tool 2 as well. You don't have to educate somebody. They almost infer the information and adopt it as their own. For example, if the knee is pulling apart, and this video, if you've seen it, I'm sure most of you have, it goes in, it shows the knee pulling apart and it shows stuff coming in. People they're like, oh, they just go, that's good. I guess. I mean, they're not doctors or nothing. That's good. I think that's good. Like they're pulling the knee apart. That feels like it would be a beneficial thing, right? So you're getting credibility just through the fact that they are inferring information that they're not really educated on, right? Here's the other 2 knees. Now, I don't choose what works. The data just proves what works. So that is the top performing ad. Coming in at number 2 is shockwave therapy. How many people offer shockwave therapy to knee patients? I can't see you all, so you're gonna have to put it in the chat. I'm getting notifications on chat. Shockwave therapy it's the exact same formula. I didn't invent anything new for shockwave therapy. I mean, it's the same thing. So we've got a considerable amount of money spent over the past couple months and a good lead cost. All right, here's what we're looking at. This one is pretty straightforward. Whoop. I revealed the next one. It's not going to come off as a surprise. Shockwave therapy. Shockwave therapy demonstrates really well, and it demonstrates well, because both in treatment as well as either in video or something like that. On video, it makes a sound. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you need something that drives home, the information. And then in practice, the good thing about these therapies and the good thing about what demonstration should do is it should create some kind of result, right? So both the Neon track as well as shockwave therapy, there's a subjective difference after you have a session. So that is really good. Now, I'm not saying these are bad. They're just not as popular within our current client base. So laser, knee decompression. Laser, I think the reason laser is not as good is cold laser, I believe, I don't know this for sure, but cold laser came out first and it does a good job, but I think the general public is kind of over the idea of laser. Now, again, not saying it doesn't work. The lead cost is still not bad, but that is the objective findings that we have. Here's what's interesting. We have a lot of clients who want Medicare specific patients. I understand that. And what we tried to do, this was my hypothesis. I wanted to do, I know knee decompression demonstrates well. People wanted Medicare. So I'm like, okay, well, if I married the two and maybe I came up with something, maybe I could come up with a way to make that work. Oddly enough, even if I offer knee decompression to a Medicare audience, it doesn't work as good. Lead cost is $31.32. Most of the time, if you want Medicare patients, I say just run the Neon track one. They'll come in, right? So that's what we do most of the time. By the way, I get asked about this all the time, about stem cell marketing, okay? If you want to get patients for regenerative therapies, Neon track is the best way to do it, okay? Remember I showed you that value ladder, right? That value ladder is, you start at the bottom, you give some value, and then as you go up, you learn more and the case values are worth more as well. That happens via education, okay? And just getting people in front of you. If they trust you, if you shift from a salesperson to an advisor, you're gonna win. All right, who's amazed? I know you guys are all amazed. Those are the stats, that's the data, that's what you need to know. Let's do a quick recap here, okay? We need to know the problem. We need to know who we're talking to so we can make a promise, okay? Demonstration, it's really important. We do need to charge something to get them in, but we don't want to cause so much friction that we turn them off. Okay. If you do those things, you're going to win. Simple enough. Right. So here's the question. I spilled the beans. If you went back and you watched the replay and you went through everything that I shared, not only did I show you the images, right, all that kind of stuff, there's apps that can write ad copy for you. If you went through all that stuff, I've given you everything, right? I've already told you my formula. That is the actual formula. Like, I'm not holding parts of it back. That is the actual formula. Okay. And you've seen some of the top performing ads. You've seen how they work, what they do. Do you really need anything else? Should we just part and go from here? Well, the reality is there is something that is lacking if you want to make this happen for you. Okay. Facebook is going to have to run. You are going to have to spend some dollars on advertising. Okay. You're going to have to find some images, write ad copy, write headlines. I've shown you everything you need to know so you can do it. Right. And you are going to have to figure out some text stuff, not to mention be compliant. Right. Okay. And I'm not talking about with the board. I'm talking about with Facebook, their terms and policies. You got to be compliant. Right. And now you're thinking, well, crap, I want more need cases, but I want to do all that. Well, come closer, child. I have some candy for you. All right. Let me just kind of take this in a different direction real quick. I want you to open up your mind just a little bit. What if there was a way, okay, where these exact ads, you could create them yourself, okay? And it was super easy, meaning my kid's grandma learned how to do it in 1 minute. That's how easy we're talking about, okay? And what if it worked better than any agency you've worked with ever? Okay, what if that was the case? Now I'm about to do the same thing that I've been walking you through this whole time. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Okay, here comes the big promise. The big promise is this. I promise you, you can run ads, these exact ads in seconds. Okay, you can learn. I put learn because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's learning. Okay, you can learn to do it in seconds, and you can do it in the next 60 seconds. Okay, let's start a clock here. Here's a video I made. It's going to show you a campaign. It's not me this time, but you will get the entire effect. So proof, demonstration. Let's see how I do. What's up, guys? Hey, I hope you're enjoying the webinar. Now, I'm limited on time. I guess I got 60 seconds. So let me show you my proof through a patient stream demo. Can everybody hear it? All right, so we are inside the templates categories. So in this section, you find all of the different niches. These are all the promises and the problems that we've identified. In this case, let's go ahead and try a neuropathy campaigns. We've got hundreds of offers, lots for you to choose from. And these are all really great offers. Let's scroll down through. Let's go ahead and launch this thermography neuropathy campaign. All right, the next step, put in our daily budget. Put in whatever website you want, and then adjust your radius, just leave it like that, and then hit launch. And that's it. You did it. Let's go see what the ads look like. All right, here's the created campaign. You can see, go ahead and click expand, see all the ad creative, the ad copy, the headline, everything you need. The targeting is all included, and it was all done within just a few clicks. All right, I know that was quick. It's probably because it's so simple. So thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the webinar. All right. It's a good looking fella right there. All right. So let me just take you through this really quick. It was really quick. When I go through that, it's so quick that sometimes I want to make sure that we just go through each step and just say, hey, this is actually that simple. You got to decide what condition you want to promote. That's number one. You click that. You decide what offer within that condition we have. And then you click your budget and click create. That's it, right? It's simple, it is easy, and it does work. Here's what some of our users say. Don't take my word for it. Michelle Sims was one of our first users. I believe she has a Neon track, I'm pretty sure. She is awesome. She uses patient streaming and has for several years. And she said, a little Friday encouragement, patient streaming is making a big difference in our practice, and it's in the lives of the people in our community. Over the next available new patients, the third week of August. Yes, in the midst of COVID, we are completely booked for the next 3 weeks. Then Misty says,
Hi, my name's Misty. I work for Dr. John Folkerts in Laser Pain Centers of Illinois. We joined Patient Stream just a few months back and have had amazing results with the system. It's super user-friendly. Sam and his team are absolutely easy to work with and give you the tools to do it yourself. We've spent a lot of money over the years using different agencies trying to get our digital marketing out there to the masses and get our reacts in and get our communication. Sam and Patient Stream, they put it all together in a big package for you. You can do it all by yourself. It's amazing to know that what you're spending is working, and the money that we used to spend on agency fees and this and that and everything else, we're now able to put into Facebook ad spend. So it's been amazing. We're looking forward to our future with Patient Stream, and thanks Sam and your team for all your hard work.
Brings a smile to my face still. And then Dr. Suhail Samji. So I put this up here because Suhail was, you can see that image. That's the ErgoFlex Neon Track video image. And he was putting that in. And then he was doing something cool. People were loving the ad. They were just jumping in and seeing everything. And he started getting in to the actual comments and posting videos of all the people who were coming in. And you want to know what happened to, like, this is demonstration proof. This is another level. He started putting that in the comments. This thing went like gangbusters, and he's been with us for a very long time now. I had on my YouTube channel, I have a playlist called Cases Closed, and I'll do interviews with people, not just about their success with Patient Stream, but like, what are you doing? Like, what are some of the tricks that you figured out? Let's tell everybody else, right? And we were in there and he was talking about how easy it was. He goes, I don't even know how Patient Stream works. They just know how to find the right person that's suffering and bring them in. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. Here's the goal. I mean, the goal of everything. Okay. I said at the beginning, I want to simplify things for you so you don't have to do all these other things. Just one thing that works. We've done the most we can. I'm sure there's more left for us to do, but we want to make this simple because simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, as our man Leonardo da Vinci has said. All right. Has this been valuable so far? If you have gotten value from this, just go ahead and throw your hand up in the air or throw something in the chat. Robert raised his hand. Thanks. Or raise your hand. Figure out how to do that little hand emoji. Robert, I love it when you do that, buddy. So, I know a lot of you are probably feeling like this. I know that I kind of take for granted that I know this stuff. I'm spouting it off really quick. There will be a replay. So if I've gone over it too quickly, I apologize. But you're feeling like this. I don't want to leave you there. Okay. I want you to feel like you can come away with actionable ideas and things to do. So here's my question to you. If there was a way to start using these tools and these ads and this approach immediately, would you like me to tell you how that works, how our program works, or would you like to just go ahead and conclude today? If you'd like me to go in, I don't want to just pitch away. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to help. If you'd like to, either put up a hand emoji like our boy Robert did, or put up a video hand like this, and we will go on. Okay, we've got people raising their hands. We've got people, all that. Okay, awesome. So here's the question. How would you like my team to plug you into Patient Stream? And what I mean by that is this. That would mean that you'd be able to take control of your new patient marketing right away. Okay. That's a given. Okay. You'll start running ads. I mean, most of you are here to learn about how to get qualified knee cases. So that will start happening ASAP. Okay. You'll have all the proven ads, all of the offers that we've shown you, we talked about. Okay. And you can start saving a bunch of money. I mean, if you're using an agency, you'll start saving money immediately. And here's the big thing. You'll have complete control. If you want to run ads tomorrow, blunk, you turn them on. If a week, 2 weeks from now, you're like, hey, I think we're good. We've got, whatever the case may be, you could turn them off. You have complete control of what you've got. Now, the last time we did a webinar for ErgoFlex was maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. It was a little while ago. And whenever I do a webinar for the ErgoFlex people, this is the same back then as it was today. I pull all the stops. I want to bring my absolute best offer. These people care. Like the people at ErgoFlex care, and they put me in front of you. So I feel the weight of not just delivering information, but a value that is probably on the border of a little bit stupid on my part, just a little bit, but that's okay. If I'm a little stupid, my wife tells me that all the time. It's all good. No problem. Listen, you're going to get all the stuff we talked about today. Okay. We price this regularly. If you do it yourself, all the stuff I've showed you, we price that regularly. You can see it on our website for $497 a month. The ErgoFlex offer is you're going to get your first month free. After that, it's $297 a month. $297 a month. It's a 3-month minimum, but it's $297 a month. Not $497, $297, only through ErgoFlex. Okay. We normally charge a $997 onboarding and setup fee. Okay. Because even though Patient Stream is easy to use, there's some setup that needs to be done. And I don't, quite frankly, I wouldn't personally want to do it myself. So we set it up for you. You go through an onboarding call and you're good to go. We're going to waive that 97. We're going to dock it down to $497, not a month. I don't know why it says a month. My apologies. It should just say onboarding setup fee is just $497 one time. Okay. So here's what you're getting. Your service is $297 a month. You get all these things. You're going to be able to launch Facebook ads in seconds. You're going to have email and text lead generation, all that kind of stuff, follow-up automation on the back end. Okay. 9 to 5 customer support via chat and email. Okay. 2 niches included. So you can have your choice. If you want, we've got over 20 niches, and in every niche, and especially the ones that most of you would be offering here, knee, spinal decompression, if you've got a back on track, neuropathy stuff, if you're using the O2 technologies that they have there, 2 niches included. Okay. We're going to waive your first month, and we're going to discount your onboarding fee. All right. Whoop. I put 2 slides together. Go ahead and get rid of that. All right. So here we're at, you get the entire thing, 30 days, $297, all that. Now here is the URL. Okay. That's a little hard. I'm going to go ahead and post it into the chat here in just a second. Okay. But before I do that, I want to also just as another thank you. Okay. I talked to you guys early on in the introduction about a book I wrote. It's called New Patient School. I've got a printed copy of it right here. If you register for the webinar, you're going to get a PDF of that book so you can see it immediately and start using everything that's in there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'm going to field questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute so I can throw the URL into the chat here. Give me 1 second. And then I'll start taking questions here. All right, because I see there's quite a few. All right. And I'll put the offer back up on the screen here. The link is in the chat now. If you want to leave, if you want to open up another tab, head over there, see and check out and all that kind of stuff. Go ahead, do that now. I'm going to go ahead and start fielding some questions here. Okay. Well, the first one, how long is the setup process? So you will, once you go through and you pay your onboarding fee, you will go to a calendar. It takes between 30 minutes to an hour. It's not long. As soon as you do, by the way, you'll be ready to go. How much per niche? Past 2 niches. Get through your first 30 days. If you want to add more niches, we do have a way for you to bump up into the next price up is unlimited niches. So it's not much more. $497. What's the difference between decompression and traction? What's that?
Can you hear me? It's Donnie.
Donnie.
I'll answer that for you. I mean, I get that asked quite often, and you wouldn't believe the number of times over the years that I've looked into that. There is so much conflicting information out there, and a lot of it has to do with people driving you to use their specific equipment. But from what I'm gathering, your as traction as it pertains to chiropractors is and there's probably someone here that's going to disagree with me, so I got to be ready for that. But the traction it's a pulling force exerted on a skeletal structure by means of a special device. So if you look at decompression, to decompress something means to release from pressure. So, and again, after reading so many different things and hearing from people, in my mind's eye, they're very similar. I mean, you can't decompress something without tractioning it. So you can look for an ungodly amount of time, and you're going to get so many different, different people stating different things about it. But that's the way I read it. And again, some here may agree. We can agree to disagree.
Well,
which is okay. Which is
I guess
okay.
from my perspective as a marketer. So I'm a stupid man. I'm not a doctor. I don't know everything.
I don't either, by all means.
There's people way more qualified than I am. Dr. William Moyle put a comment in. Dr. Moyle, I've known him for years. He's an expert in decompression,
Yes.
so he can answer it better than I can. But from the perspective of a marketer, there's no difference for me. Okay. Cause it's nomenclature, what you call traction and decompression. I mean, at the end of the day, if the problem, we're focused on the problem. It's low back pain, disc pain, herniated discs. That's what fish. I mean, that's what it means to think like a fish. Right. So we speak in marketing and new patient marketing, we think in those terms. All right. Hi, just make sure I'm checking in the right spot, but I cannot see the final link in the chat. The link is in the chat. I'll go ahead and, I guess I took, hold on. I sent it to one person. Let me go ahead and put it again. Come on, Sam. All right. Everybody should now see the ErgoFlex page there in the chat. If you don't see it, let me know. Okay. Let's see here. Same question for you, PDF. Same question goes for the PDF of your book. Thank you. Oh, the PDF I will actually email to you. Everybody who registered for the Zoom webinar, I've got your email addresses. I'll send that out to you this afternoon. All right. We talked about that. Do you connect it or do we? Yes, we connect it. I didn't think Medicare pays chiropractors. I'm not a compliance person. I just have clients come in, and I have several who talk about Medicare. So I think they're integrated, but don't ask me. What's the difference between knee decompression and knee on track? Well, knee decompression is a product of owning a knee on track. Let's see here. I guess you could decompress the knee by hanging upside down by your leg or something. I don't know. How do you build this into insurance? I'm not the guy. Let's see here. What is the billing code for? I'm not the guy. Can you change the photo in the ad if you use soft wave rather than radial shockwave? We have a lot of images, and what I would say is, by the way, not all of them show the radial shockwave. Okay, they all show, like, most of them show the anatomy. Okay. And so it should be, oh, that was a direct message. Sorry, I don't care. You guys want to know the answer anyway. Shockwave and knee on track. How is decompression different than traction? I already asked that. Opportunity, met preparation. Thank you. That was what I was struggling for earlier, Robert, my man. We've got a couple of new ones here. Give me just a second. Scheduling, integration, or just leads come in. So you get automation. There is a calendar in there, so you can do that. If you're using, depending on the EHR you're using, a lot of times those do not integrate. Okay, I had to jump off the audio for patients. Is there a place to reach out to get information on billing insurance? I'm the wrong guy to ask that too. Yeah, that looks like all. Any other questions? And if you have other questions, use the chat. That is the most efficient way, so people aren't talking over them. I will go ahead and again, in the actual chat itself, I'm going to go ahead and one more time, I'm going to throw this link into the very bottom. That way people can go there and see it. Who sets the audience and targeting? Dan, you're thinking like a marketer, buddy, which Dan McClyman, I know you. It's all done. It's all automated. It's all part of the software. I don't want you to learn how to be Facebook marketers. This tool makes it work for you. It does it for you. All of that technical gobbledygook happens within 3 clicks. Okay. And it will be perfectly executed every single time. It doesn't make mistakes. That's a good thing. Do you use high level or lead capture follow-up? Yeah. Patient stream, the actual CRM part, the automation, the lead follow-up, all that kind of stuff. It is built on high level. It's an awesome tool. The actual, the tool we built, the lead generation tool, we built that. Yes, great value, and it makes sense. Oh, that was a direct message. Somebody sending me a really nice message, you guys. I wanted you to know about it. Okay. Just so if you haven't sent me a nice message, a direct message, maybe you should. All right, guys. Thanks again. ErgoFlex, Linda, Donnie, thank you guys for doing this. Tell JT I said hi. Linda, any words before we end up here, or Donnie, either of you?
I'll just add a little bit there. I saw one of the questions was regarding insurance billing for the Neon track. And honestly, over the years, I've never seen any kind of insurance billing coding for traction for the knee. Don't ask me why. It is traction. Just like there's traction for the spine, and they have one for spinal traction, but not for the knee. So we stay away from recommending any kind of billing codes for insurance, just because we're not that in that profession. But that's just my 2 cents on that. That's what I know after years of working with different doctors. And just thank you, Sam, for having this today, and thank you all of you doctors who have been on here. We really appreciate your being on with us today, and it was great, Sam. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. You guys have an amazing. Like I said, I started selling Neon tracks before I even knew who any of the owners, any of the people were at ErgoFlex. Donnie reached out to me to cold call me because I was sending in so many referrals. He's like, "Hey, who's this Sam Carlson guy?" I'm like, Donnie, I'm just trying to make more money doing what I do. I don't care what you're doing. I want to make more money doing what I do. And that quickly turned into a situation where it was just very symbiotic. You know, 2 people or 2 entities, 2 companies and people, just trying to do the best we could to provide value and help doctors grow their practices. The beauty of the Neon track, Dr. Moyle is right. The beauty of the Neon track is that it is a cash niche. Okay. Don't mess it up with insurance. I actually really agree with that. There's a lot. In fact, most of these things, shockwave therapy, laser therapy, all of this stuff, these are cash services. And that is what, I mean, when I said I couldn't advertise for aspirin, throw a lot of the insurance covered stuff into that same bucket. Okay. Because people know what they are. People know how much they want to, how much it's going to cost. But if you show them a really new way, a good promise, something that you can deliver on, that is going to pay dividends in the long term, like nothing else. We always go out with a little bit of music because I got this fancy little audio board. So thanks for coming, everybody. I will send you an email. And if you want to get started with us, go to the website. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.